correspondence that you submitted through the Garland location this week.
Yes.
So I was just giving you a call to see what I could do to help you out.
Well, yes. I wanted to know what reasoning they put the Illinois location because I was going through a crisis. So I want to see what reasoning they put in the Illinois location and the Garland location denying me my funds in the crisis.
And this is back in 2018, correct?
Yes, October of 2018.
Yes. Okay, and so that complaint was actually filed back in 2018 whenever you requested it to be filed. So I was able to go back and review that information, and from what I can tell, it appears that all of it was pretty much done for the security of the protection of you and your account as well. So from my understanding, there was you had an expired driver's license presented at one location, and I think at the other location, you had the expired driver's license, but you also had the temporary ID. But the information on each one of them was different, I think, as far as the address goes. And so basically what it was just in an effort to protect your account, to make sure that the person that was attempting to withdraw that large amount of money, I believe it was $2,000.
No, I wasn't trying to get out. No, that's not what happened. Is that what you got in my complaint to you?
That's my understanding. You can tell me what happened.
Yes. The Illinois location with ID, a valid ID, and Social Security card. It was not paper. And even if it is paper, why would they deny me access to my funds when they can look on my records? Because I had to take a picture, and I had my Social Security card. But I had a valid ID and social. And they would not give me my funds.
Okay. And when you say a valid ID, what was the valid ID presented?
I'm sorry, what do you mean, what is a valid ID presented?
So the valid ID that you presented for the withdrawal, what ID was that? Was it a valid ID? Was it a state-issued ID?
Right. It was valid and was not expired.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, from what I understand and from the notes that I see and the copy of the ID presented, the driver's license was expired.
So they defrauded, put fraud in the system to where No, they did. They did. I presented a valid driver's license and ID. I have banked at that bank over 15 years.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe someone enticed the bank to not give me my funds in the crisis, and whoever that was enlisted to do that needs the consequences. So now you're telling me, hold on. No, you don't need to assure me of anything because I came in there with a valid ID and driver's license. And then in October, that she threw my funds at me at the Preston and Forest location when I only communicated with her in writing. So I don't know why you would call me and cover for the crimes that were happening to me. What kind of consequence is that if someone denies me access to my funds out of corruption?
Well, I'm not arguing with it.
Okay, I would like to know what kind of penalty is it with your bank if someone was corrupt and denied me my funds out of corruption?
I can assure you that no one bribed the bank not to give you those funds.
Sir, it happened. If someone would have investigated the complaint a long time ago, you could have pulled the camera footage and watched your staff deny me access to my funds with the driver's license and ID.
The complaint was investigated. It went up through our fraud department, and it was determined that no one bribed the bank not to give you your funds.
How could they determine that why would the bank deny me my funds with a valid ID and then put fraud off in there that I had an expired ID?
I don't know that anybody put fraud out there.
They had to have, because I had initially in Illinois, at the Illinois location, they did tell me that they needed me to have it was expired. So I went to go get the new ID.
Okay.
And then
so the new ID that you got is what you presented was as a valid driver's license, correct? That's a different story.
You said that those locations showed that I had an expired ID. I had a valid ID, not the paper. I recall that being a valid ID and a Social Security card.
Okay, I will say if you had a valid ID, that would be a different story. About those funds being dispersed to you, but from the picture of the ID that we had, it was expired in 2017.
I'm communicating. There was camera footage. You could have rolled back the cameras if you did the investigation. It's more like you're covering for it.
We did do the investigation, Ms. Clark, back in 2018 when the complaint was filed.
Okay, well then your story, someone put fraud in the complaint.
Not to give you that money.
Someone put fraud in the complaint because I did have a valid ID and social.
So what do you mean someone put fraud in the complaint? I'm not understanding that.
Because you said that they said that I presented a paper ID, and then you said that they said that I presented an ID that was expired.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with fraud, though.
That's not true. That's like fraud. That they put inaccurate records or tamper with information in it. The report. That's not what happened, and why would they lie?
No, ma'am. I mean, there was no fraud in the report.
I came in, sir. I don't know why you're covering for it. My complaint is that I have banked at that bank 15 years, and in the crisis, they denied me my funds with a valid ID and social security card. What are you going to do about it? It was on camera footage. All you had to do is review the camera footage. I had the ID when I went to the forest in Preston location where she threw my money at me and forced me to close my account. I did not want all the funds out. I just wanted some to get me through some to get me through. I didn't want all of that money out. I was forced to close my account at the Forest and Preston location when she got caught in lies and was trying to deny me my funds there too.
And how much was the withdrawal? How much was the closing amount that when you closed your account?
I don't know what this has to do with. I mean, so many parties call me pretending like they're other people. I think that we're deflecting. The point that I'm trying to make is that I came in with a valid ID and multiple bank locations denying me access to my funds. And I'm trying to see what the consequences are for those people putting inaccurate information in the report and denying me access to my funds in a crisis.
Well,
why would the Illinois location and the Garland location do it, and then the third location tried to do it too?
Yes, and the bank was attempting to protect your account and your protection.
No, sir. No, they weren't protecting me because they knew my life was in jeopardy. I explained them what was going on and why I needed access to my funds, and I don't understand why they would deny me access to my funds. I had been banking at that bank for 15 something years, so I know the procedure. And
yes, and so with valid ID.
So if you're going to cover for the crime, sir, I don't know what benefit it's going to be. And what's your position there? Have you Prosperity?
I'm in the complaint management with compliance.
And what's your name?
My name's Kevin.
Okay. So when I asked them about the $2,000 that was stolen, and I had the identity theft in 2017, and I thought my abuser admitted to doing it on a fake page. The police wouldn't take a report. So what was the circumstances when, do you see that? Where I had
I'm not aware. I'm not aware of that. That was not in what the complaint that you filed with the Garland location recently.
Yeah, so and then when I came to the banking location, I can't, it was downtown somewhere. She didn't want to give me my funds. She was playing games for a long time.
I believe that was at our Oak Cliff location, I believe that you were at.
No, it wasn't the Oak Cliff. It was downtown. It was multiple different locations. She eventually gave it to me because I got up out my seat and then she pretended like she couldn't get it. And I got out my seat and directed her on how to access the information that she said she couldn't retrieve. And she was basically getting caught in lies when she said she couldn't access my records of how I had identity theft. But when I got to the police department, they declined to allow me to report the identity theft anyway if they threatened to arrest me.
Why would the police department not allow you to file an identity theft claim?
Because they're corrupt, and I think that that's the reason why these multiple branches denied my ability to have access to my funds, and then in turn fabricated information in the reports to cover up for doing that. I had a valid ID and social security card, and they denied me access to my funds. So what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? All that information has already been reported, been reviewed by upper level management, and all that has been internally looked at and spoken to the employees.
No, it's not okay for them to fabricate information in the report that's proven on camera footage.
What's that?
It's not okay for them to fabricate information in the report to cover for them to deny me access to my funds out of corruption.
Right, but your complaint was documented very well in 2018. All employees involved in that were reported to upper level management. The situation was reported to upper level management, and all that has been handled internally.
Okay, well, if I get law enforcement or if I get some kind of representation, I think that's definitely a lawsuit because I was in a crisis and they had no right to deny me my funds in that crisis. And then, if what you're saying, it sounds like they fabricated information in the report too.
No, there's been no fabrication. There's been
no had a valid
bribery.
ID.
There's been none of that go on.
ID and social security card, and they denied me my right to funds at multiple different locations.
Okay,
and then the third location forced me to close my account, and you're not apologizing for that bad behavior.
I am. I apologize for anything that you feel was misdone by the bank, but I can assure you, whatever steps were taken back then were in the protection of you as the account holder.
That wasn't in the protection for me, and I was in the crisis, and my multiple things were stolen from me. That was not protecting me. I didn't have food, and then the food stamps were stolen too. So I was in a crisis.
With the food stamps and things being stolen, that has nothing to do with the bank.
No, I'm trying to show a pattern. If the same time I had food stamps stolen, you wouldn't give me funds. I think someone was controlling it. I had just got out of jail on false charges.
I understand.
So I had wanted access to the food stamps because y'all were denying me funds, and then those were stolen.
And I can assure you that there was no money or anything stolen by the bank. There was no bribery done by the bank. Whatever steps and misunderstanding.
It's not up for debate. I'm reporting it. And what you do with that report is on you. That's not up for debate. They denied me access to my funds and forced me to close my account. It should have been on the camera footage, so there's no need for you to try to condone that or validate that because it's not okay for them.
And I guess one thing that I guess I need to know is what are you wanting us to do currently?
Well, I just wanted to see what excuse that they had for the crime that they were committing for denying me access to my funds.
First of all, there was no crime committed by the bank.
No, I can assure you that. The bank was enlisted in violating my right and denying me access to my funds out of criminal activity.
There was no collusion with anybody outside the bank and bank employees to deny you those funds. I can assure you that.
You would have reviewed the camera footage.
Whatever camera footage has been reviewed.
Well, yes, they denied me access to my funds with a valid ID and social security card. That is an inappropriate behavior.
All I can do from that happened in 2018. If that's the case, if you presented a valid ID to withdraw those funds, I can assure you I apologize on behalf of the bank for whatever misunderstanding took place. But I can assure you that there was no bribery, there was no collusion with anyone else not to have those funds dispersed to you.
Yes, it was, sir. It was. I think why would the other employee at the Forest location in Preston try to scheme so I can't get my money there? So I only communicated with her in writing. Then she got mad because it would have been evident. It was showing evidence that people are scheming to prevent me from having access to my funds. So when I only communicated with her, she would ask me a question. I'd write the question down. And then I say, is this the question? Well, I'd verify this is what you're asking. And then I put the answer down. She got mad, got my funds, and threw them at me when I wasn't trying to close my account.
Well,
the reason why you're covering for it, I don't understand.
I'm not recovering for it. I was going to tell you that I apologize. That is not how the bank should do business. We should never, no matter what the situation is, we should never throw the money at anybody. So if that happened, I do apologize on behalf of the bank.
Crimes trying to deny someone access to their funds in an emergency situation, especially you shouldn't throw the funds at them.
I agree 100%. And I can assure you that has all been looked at internally and with upper level management, with that employee's upper level management bosses. All that was reported up through upper level management. So any concerns you have with those employees has been looked at and taken care of.
Where they got the information or where they got the idea to deny me the funds in the crisis. They hadn't done that in 15 years that I banked there.
Yeah,
when I had the food stamp stolen, and then the identity theft, I had identity theft in 2017. My abuser actually told me in a fake page that he did it. They took funds out of my account like it was an ATM, but I had my card. I didn't understand that. How is that possible? How could they take funds out of my account with like an ATM and I had my card?
That I don't know. That was, I don't know that I saw that in the complaint that you recently submitted. This is new to me, so I don't want to comment.
Theft. He admitted to doing it in a fake page.
Yeah.
So they happened.
I don't know anything about that. I apologize.
I'm letting you know
I'm
what
just
happened
going
with the
off
bank. I didn't want you to
on.
cover for the crimes. I'm trying to show you where the things that you're saying are not related, how they could possibly be related. 2017, the man admitted to the identity theft in a fake page. Well, it was 2018, but the identity theft was 2017. I started to figure things out. So the identity theft happened in 2017. He admitted to doing it in a fake page. Then I had the false arrest. Then the food stamps were stolen. I had the false arrest, lost everything. So I tried to get food stamps. Food stamps were stolen. Then you guys denied me funds.
And I can see how that's frustrating. I can definitely see how that's frustrating. But with all that information, you have to understand
all of this stuff. Why?
Well, you have to understand that when someone's been through identity theft and they've had their information stolen, the bank has to be double and extra careful that we verify all information to make sure we're giving that person the correct, giving that money to the correct person.
Well,
my understanding of the situation.
They took my picture in the bank file. They said for extra security, they had my photo in with the bank, so they saw who it was me. They looked at the party because you had my picture on file. Number one, and they told me that would make it easier when they took my picture for me to have access to my fund. You had a picture of me on file, which you can actually see.
Who took a picture? You talking about they made a copy of your ID?
No, they took a picture of me at the Fort Worth location when I was reporting identity theft.
Oh, but not the bank.
There was a Fort Worth bank location.
And they took a picture of you.
They did. They claimed, that's what they claimed. It was so they could have it on file.
Okay, and I guess what we need to get to at this point is this happened back in 2018.
So they took a picture of me at the file. So they had the evidence. They had a picture of how I looked. They had an ID, and they had a Social Security card, and multiple other places where they violated me and denied me, and I had a false arrest.
I understand. So I guess what I'm getting at. Let me speak real quick, Ms. Clark.
Me money, sir. It's like you're covering for it. There's no excuse for my right.
I'm trying to resolve the issue. So what I'm trying to get at is, what can I do based on the complaint that you filed or what you spoke with the Garland branch manager this week on?
Yeah, investigate who told them to deny me my funds and lie in the report and say that it was not the authentic ID.
And what report was this?
I'm sorry?
And what report was this?
Didn't you say that they lied and said it was expired ID from that location?
I said that when the complaint was reviewed back in 2018, it was stated that at one of the locations, I guess I know for one of the locations, that the driver's license you presented was expired in 2017. And the copy of that ID that we have, I've got a copy of the ID, and it did expire in 2017, and it's got the end cut off of it. So if that's the one you presented, that is going to be an expired driver's license or expired ID.
So I repeat myself. If I came to the Illinois location first, they would not. They told me they tried to control me and give me only $100 with the expired ID. I said, no, I want more. And then they said, no, well, you're not getting anything. And we're rude. So then I said, okay. So I went to go get the ID. I came back with a valid ID, not paper or anything. It was a valid ID and a Social Security card. They denied me access to the funds again. I called the police on the bank because I had a valid ID and Social Security card. Food stamps were stolen, and I was being railroaded and had multiple false arrests. And I believe something was behind why my bank would deny me access to my funds. So I called the police on the bank. The police would not take the report. I went to another location because I know that location, the Illinois location, was violating me and wouldn't let me have access to my funds. I tried to do a complaint there and go above the other authority that wouldn't give me access to my funds with a valid ID and social. So I went to another location, the Garland location, your location. They wouldn't allow me to have access to my funds there, played games with the valid ID and the card that they had, the picture of me they had on file. so they could see it was me. So then I went to the Preston location and the Forest location, and they were playing games there until I only communicated with them in writing so I could present to someone that they were sabotaging my right to have access to my funds. So that is what actually happened, and I don't know why they would put inaccurate information in the report and cover for it.
Let me see something real quick. Reported your purse stolen, so I know that we had alerts on the account at that point.
No, I didn't report my purse stolen. I don't know why there's so much tamper with evidence.
Okay. Well,
I told them no. I told them that I had my card in my purse. Okay. How did someone go to an ATM? Okay. See, here's the thing. I was supposed to be going with a family member to a casino. Okay? They were going to a casino, and I was supposed to be going to the casino with a family member. My purse was they put that my purse was stolen. I had my card, and they went to the same casino I was supposed to be going to and took the funds out.
Oh, okay. Well,
so hold on.
Okay.
It was ironic that it was like someone was mad that I was supposed to be going to that casino. How can they still go to that casino and use my card that I had in my purse? That's where it was misconstrued. I had my card, and I reported that to the bank. I didn't understand how funds can be taken out of an ATM. How can someone steal like that?
Nobody can take funds out of an ATM without your card.
They lied to me at the bank. I went into the bank, and they said that when they took my picture, that was a blatant lie at that bank. I never heard of that either. They covered for it.
You can't take money out of an ATM without a card.
I never heard of that either. That's what they lied to me at the banking branch in Fort Worth. Because I have never heard of it. That was evidence that someone was messing with me, doing something inappropriate. Because do you show that it was an ATM? That they withdrew money from an ATM, or did it change?
I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm going off on what was reported this week at Garland. So
they lied to me at a banking location. I never heard. It was some man in a suit that was protecting me against talking to other staff, and he claimed that he was a director or something over it, and it was kind of weird, and he took my picture and all kinds of... It was odd. But he told me that that they have been doing identity theft like that. I said, how can they do identity theft when I have my card in my purse and then go to an ATM and take my money out? He reassured me that was a scheme that they have been doing to multiple parties. I have never heard of anything like that, such a thing in my life either. And I don't know why a bank employee would lie.
Unless somebody created a counterfeit card. You know, back in 2018, we didn't have the chips like we do today. Today, the debit cards have chips in them, and so it's very hard to duplicate that. So it could have been a situation, maybe, and I don't know this, I'm just speaking hypothetically, that maybe there was a counterfeit card created by a fraudster somewhere that was able to access that account, which is weird, to do an ATM because they have to have a PIN number. And that card has to be linked to your account. So that's kind of weird. But I guess what I'm getting at
had they not lied to me at that location in Fort Worth, which I went to the location and reported it, had they not lied to me at that location, we could have had evidence of someone targeting me and mistreating me. But since they lied at that location, you have to have a PIN. It didn't make sense to me, and they covered for it at that bank. So I don't know why the bank would cover for crimes, sir. This is what we need to address. Why the bank would cover for so many crimes that happened to me.
I guess what I'm getting at is, what are you looking for?
I want to go back to who that was at the bank and why they would cover for someone stealing funds from me and lie to me when I was trying to report that I thought it was something inappropriate, that I thought it was something inside or something really big. Well, how someone can get, because they, like you said, they have to have my PIN number. How would they get that? Then I had my card in my purse. I told my bank repeatedly that I had my card. Then it changed to someone stole it. I did not tell them someone stole it. I told them I had my card. How did someone take funds, and how did they get my PIN number, and how did they take the funds at the same exact casino I was supposed to be going to with my cousin?
I understand.
So I couldn't go anywhere because my funds were stolen out of my account. And if my abuser is controlling my access to my funds at all these different things, that's insane for people to let him get away with abusing power to this degree. It sounds like to me he didn't want me going to the casino. He was jealous and tried to be funny and had someone steal the funds, go to that same exact casino and take my money out.
And you think an employee conspired to do that?
I'm saying that when the abuser set this up, I don't know why the bank staff would lie to me and tell me that's a normal thing when I thought it was something suspicious and cover for it. They said no.
I guess, Ms. Clark. I guess what I need to find out from this standpoint is what do you want? What are you looking for the bank to do?
Why would the bank employee cover for someone stealing funds from me that I don't even know? Why would he do that?
I don't know, and the bank was not covering for anyone stealing funds for you.
Okay, the bank. I told the bank that I had they put in the report that my purse was stolen. The ID was stolen out of my purse. That's not true. I made very sure that they knew that I felt that it was something inappropriate or is unusual going on because I had my card. How could they get funds at the same exact thing? Sir,
I can't speak to that because
it's like you're covering for it, sir. Let me
finish.
Let me finish. It's like you're covering for it. How can someone steal funds at the same exact casino? You're covering for the abuser, sir.
I want you to understand something real quick. You've made the comment several times. I'm not covering for anybody.
Okay, so what people do is they start arguments so they can cover for the abuser.
My phone call to you is try to help resolve the situation. Please don't say that I'm covering for anybody. I am calling you out of good faith to try to help resolve the issue that you're having.
Okay, so let me report the abuser because people keep on interrupting that. So he said I was supposed to be going to the casino. And the same casino that I was supposed to be going to, someone went and withdrew my funds out. How in the world can that happen? Like, that was just too suspicious.
Well, I can't answer that.
Okay, you can't answer why the employee told me that was no big deal and they were doing that and they would have to have my PIN. And you said that was highly unusual, and I thought it was too, but he basically covered for it and minimized it.
Well, I don't want to answer that because I'm not aware of that situation.
Well, it happened, and I thought it was pretty odd that he would take a picture of me because I was already getting stalked and a whole bunch of other crazy things was going on, and I didn't appreciate him taking a picture of me, but he said that he needed to. He had a camera and just took a picture. It wasn't even like a picture for like an ID or anything, he just had a camera and took a picture and claimed he was putting it in my file. And the whole time I've been banking, I've never experienced anything like that. If they were going to take a picture, they'd have a little session to where they take pictures. It would like multiple pictures were taken there, not just come in with a camera and take your picture.
Yeah, right. I can't answer that because I don't know.
Well, we need to find out because that maybe I don't even know if he worked for the bank. He could have been someone pretending to be the CIA and was covering up for this identity theft that I had multiple different times. That time in 2017, and then when my bank denied to give me access to my funds, and maybe that was the same party that enticed the bank to deny me my funds then. Maybe when he got away with the situation with the identity theft in 2017, then he enlisted the bank to just to not give me my funds in 2018. So we need to find out who that employee was, if he was a really authentic employee, and why he would help cover for the experience that I had with my, and then lie and say that someone took my phone, not my phone, but my purse. That's not what happened. And I made that very, I really revealed that and gave the importance of them knowing that my card was in my purse. So how could that happen? They did not steal my card. So if they duplicated the card, then how could they get my PIN?
That I'm not sure
sir,
of it. I don't want to speak to that.
Sir, I have too many unusual things for them to be isolated incidences. I think I'm targeted. I think someone enlisted all these bank branches not to give me my funds and have you guys committing crimes.
Ms. Clark,
and you're doing it.
Clark, let me assure you of something. There is no one, the way the banks operate, there's no one that can conspire with any of the banks not to give you those
conspiring with my bank. They did. That was a crime. I had my ID and I had my social, and also I had my the food stamps that I was trying to get in the crisis. Those were stolen. So someone is definitely conspiring, and they're out of control by enlisting a bank to deny someone access to the funds with ID and a valid social. And whoever that was at that location that lied to me about what was going on with my card and how, kind of basically covering for it and minimizing it. And I thought that was pretty amazing for me to have my card in my purse and someone go to an ATM and take funds. But okay, and I tried to report it. I know why the police threatened my arrest. That is pretty weird. and it would connect another party that they're trying to cover for. That's why they threatened to take me to jail for reporting that identity theft, because there was evidence that someone, even though I had my card, it was too incriminating. So that's why they wouldn't take the report.
And I can't answer to that. That's
sir.
That's
okay.
the police.
Yeah, but they shouldn't enlist people to commit crimes with them. Okay, thank you, sir.
Wait, Miss Clark.
Yes.
So what would you like me to do?
People don't do anything, sir. I don't know what you would want to do. I mean, apparently all these crimes are okay if they're getting ignored. We've been on the line. We've been on the phone 31 minutes, and you're asking me what I want you to do, and I went over a lot of incriminating things.
From what I understand, the complaint back in 2018 and the complaint that you refiled was about you not getting the cash that you were requesting.
I believe that
all this other stuff up that we're not aware of and has nothing to do with the bank.
It does.
Trying to tie it back to the bank, but the bank.
I don't know. That's why I think this is fruitless, because we're not getting anywhere. It's more like you were covering for it. Because if a representative covered for me and the funds being stolen and lied to me about the significance of someone taking funds out of an ATM.
Yeah, minimized it. That's the first time I'm hearing anything about.
Yeah, that happened in Fort Worth, and then the same individual took my picture, and I was weirded out by it.
I can't answer for that. I have no idea about that. I was more or less calling in regards to the complaint that you filed in 2018 about not getting funds whenever you requested them.
Okay, so if you're not willing to do anything, I don't know why we would need to continue talking if you're not willing to investigate on why people are lying and why that bank branch lied and tried to minimize the fact that someone took funds out of my account with the ATM card. Did you file
any kind of disputes or affidavits about funds coming out of your account?
I did, and whoever that man was that took the picture of me that was acting weird, it was like covering for it, and then I went to the police department and they covered for it too. So whatever's going on with that incident must be a pretty major extreme thing, because there's multiple parties covering for it and don't want it exposed. I thought it was odd. Because if the card is in my purse, how can they get my card?
I can't answer that, because that has
then they have to have my PIN.
The complaint you filed.
Then I did a complaint on that. It was ignored. I did, but it didn't. That wasn't a recent complaint. But I told you I did a complaint in Fort Worth, and he minimized it. And the police covered for it.
At a Legacy, Texas location?
Yes.
Okay. And what I'm looking at, I don't see anything regarding Fort Worth.
Okay, so back in 2017, they forgot that? They didn't file that one?
In 2017, I can...
Because they gave me my funds back. So they couldn't have disappeared.
That's probably not a complaint. That was probably a dispute. That's different. If you file a dispute, that's going to be different than a complaint. So if you filed a debit card dispute on fraudulent transactions coming out of your account or something like that, that's handled differently. That's not a complaint. That's a debit card dispute. And you said you received your money back, correct?
Right, but I don't want someone bribing my bank to not give me funds. But I mean, we're not going to do it.
Now we're back on something else. So you got your money back from the dispute.
Sir, these calls, are they like that? I mean, the people like call me all the time. It's like I get harassed, and it's just, my experience is so amazing. People call me and cover for crimes and belittle me, start arguments. Social workers start arguments out the blue, ask for TVs they gave me back. Months later, they decide that they want the TV back. It's like I get tortured and harassed, sir. So if you're not willing to help me, your behavior is not appropriate for us revealing that the crimes have been committed, and then them lying in the report saying that I said someone stole it out my purse, and I didn't say that. So I don't think that you're going.
No, hold on now. I didn't say anything about anybody stealing out of your purse.
You said that they said that it was stolen out of my purse, the card?
No, I did not. Miss Clark, you're putting words in my mouth. I did not say anything about anybody saying anything about stealing money out of your purse.
The card out my purse. You said that they said that the card was stolen out of my purse.
No, I did not. Don't, please, Miss Clark. I'm trying to help you.
People call and start arguments, sir, and gaslight me and mistreat me. I'm done. you're not going to help. If I'm getting a legitimate call, if that's good, I'm not gonna get it.
I
only
think
get calls from con artists.
In the call, because this is going nowhere, because you're putting words in my mouth.
The only calls I get are when people cover for crimes and start an argument.
Based on your complaint that you filed in 2018 about not receiving funds when you presented an ID, I've answered you for that. And now you're bringing up all this other stuff.
Because you're lying. You did say that they put in the report that someone said that it was stolen out my purse, and that's not what happened.
I did not say anything about anybody stealing anything.
Sir, I have to go. There's too many people that start arguments claiming to be all kinds of people.
Okay, well, I apologize. I was just calling in regards to try to help you resolve the situation.
You haven't